Hey guys, so today we're going to do the DIY filter video. And I know a lot of you guys have been wanting this, and I finally get everything, well not everything, but 98% of the stuff set up for the filter. So, here we go. And as you can see, it's a mess down here. There's drywall in that room. But yeah, my work area's a mess, but okay. So, as you can see, I re-aquascaped the area, but as you can see, there's one overflow. You take the PVC, and you can see where my water level is there. I set mine just below, that way I don't get any air in the pipes, so it doesn't break the siphon. That will ultimately determine where your water level in your tank is. So these filters filter off the top of the water, not at the bottom like these do. See how this one filters off the bottom? These filter off the top. And I have two inlets, and they're about an inch below the water to keep the air out. They will run it'll start with a cap, and you'll drill holes in the cap so that the water can flow through, but it'll keep large particles from getting into your system and clogging it. It's going to run down the tank to a 90-degree angle, and it runs all the way to the bottom. And then over, and mine, these are a little big. If I would redo them, I'd cut that shorter so they'd be right up against each other. And then back up the tank, obviously, from a 90 to a T. And the reason you put these T's here, and then another small piece here, is so you have these caps, and you remove the caps and pour water down the PVC pipe to prime the siphon. That way you don't have to worry about taking this all off, filling it with water, and then putting it back together. You just take these caps off, fill it up, put these back on, and open the ball valve, which I'll show you here in a little bit, and then you're good. Same thing over there, it's the same principle. I have two of them because it's a larger tank, so I have one inlet on each side to try and get as much debris as possible. And then it's just a straight tube. This is 3/4 inch, by the way, but you can do 1/2 inch, 1 inch, whatever you want, depending on how much water flow you want. But since I did two inlets, I only did 3/4 inch hose. And it goes down the back of the tank, straight down to that 90-degree angle there. And it's going to come forward, and then depending on where your sump is underneath your tank will determine where this pipe runs. Like mine's center tank, so this one runs straight out and over and in right there. Now I have a ball valve on the bottom so I can regulate flow rate. And then I have another tube that goes into the water. That way it reduces sound and also reduces reduces noise, and to make sure that you don't splash water everywhere making messes and things. Okay. So after it gets into the sump, it goes through the first stage of filtration. You can buy these little filter socks at like fish stores and places, but what I did as a DIY thing, if you don't want to spend that much money because they're kind of pricey, you can go buy like a bag of socks at Walmart. They're like $5 and you get like 6 dozen, or not 6 dozen, like a dozen pairs, and cut the top off of it from the ankle. Zip tie it shut as tight as possible. Attach it to the top of the hose and zip tie it shut so no water comes out. And that's your first stage filtration. As you can see, it's doing a great job. It's only been in here for about 4 days, and you can already see the crap it's starting to get. And then the water flows down here, and it'll circulate down here and up and all that. And then we go to the first silicone plexiglass thing. So this here forces the water to come up. Right here's the top. It forces this water to come up and over. Now you can go buy bio balls, which is not very expensive, but what I did, and it works great. You can already see that there's bacteria growing on them. is I took the leftover PVC pipe that I had, and I wasn't going to do anything with it. There wasn't enough to do any substantial plumbing with it for tanks, so I cut it into small pieces about 1/2 inch long. I threw those in here, and they work great. I think they almost work as good as bio balls. So that's the second stage filtration. Third stage filtration is another pump here. The first pump here. It has a sponge filter on the end of it, and then it just cycles the water back around again. So it's getting quadruple filtered in here because it's going through each of them twice. So those are the second and third stage filters. Now here is another piece of plexiglass with a slit down here about 1/2 inch wide. This forces the water to go up, over, down, and through, and up again. When it starts going up here, I have my heater in here. There's another piece alongside the other side that forces it to go back up, and my heater's in here. So as the water is going through here, it heats the water as it goes up and then back over. So that way it eliminates the heater even being in the tank. And as you can see, there is no heater in the tank. It's completely heated down here in the sump. So now we're going to go to the other side of the cabinet to show you the rest of the film. And the last stage of filtration, is, that's kind of dark, one more pump in here. As the water comes up and over and down, this pump has a mesh on it. And the mesh will pick up any last things. And as it goes through here, it goes up into the return. Now the return is 3/4 inch pipe here, and that runs from the return up to here. This is a 90-degree turn, but it goes from 3/4 inch here to 1/2 inch here. So I'm reducing the size of the PVC pipe, and I'll tell you why here in a second. Okay, so we go from a 1/2 inch piece of PVC pipe about 3 inches long to a ball valve. Now this ball valve not only lets me regulate how fast the water is being pumped out and into the tank, but also when I shut the system off to do maintenance, the water will siphon from the returns, because they're underwater, back down through these pipes and back into here, and will overflow your sump system if you don't have it correctly sized. And the reason and that's why this ball valve is here. So it has two different separate reasons. From here, the reason I went to 1/2 inch is I have a T here. It splits off into two pipes, both 1/2 inch. I wanted two separate returns so I could get maximum water irritation or aggravation. That way I get maximum oxygen in the tank. So then we have two more 90s, one here and one here. They run back to the very back of the tank, up straight to the top, and I'll get up and show you this, to another set of T's. Now these T's here serve several purposes. One is if you get a clog down here, and you need to relieve pressure so you don't burn your pump out, take these caps off. Two, to clean and do maintenance. So you got something lodged down here in this pipe, you take this cap off, you take a snake, and you run it down the pipe and dislodge all that stuff. Three, if your ball valve gets broke or for some reason you can't shut off the water after you shut the tank down, remove this cap and allow air in, and it'll break the siphons so you won't overflow your sump. And then they run out, and these are only 45-degree angle pieces. These come down to another probably inch piece of PVC pipe. Let me move my light here. To another 45. And you put these just above the water surface. That allows irritation. See all the irritation here? And plenty of current. I'll show you by dropping some food in there. I haven't fed them today. So I'll drop some food in there, and you'll be able to see all of the current that it makes. So here's a piece of food. Nope, didn't even see it. Here's some food. You see how they go, and they start making a certain, these paws right there. That's exactly what I want, because it irritates the water and it keeps the oxygen in the tank. Now, one more thing you could do with the returns are this, and I'm going to do this, I haven't finished them yet. Take a piece of PVC pipe, about that long, about 4, 5 inches long, and drill holes all the way down the side of it. And then you'll insert this into one of these, going the lengthways of the tank. This will make a current that runs this direction rather than a circular current like I prefer. Now, the reason that I did PVC plumbing is that it's more reliable than the hose. The hose will kink, and the hose will also leak bad at the connections. And the PVC pipe, you don't have to worry about it kinking, you don't have to worry about it leaking as long as you glue it properly. And also the glue, you don't have to worry about fish safe glue. Where'd it go? Where did my glue go? But anyways, you don't have to worry about fish safe glue, because when it dries, it's dry. It's not gonna put anything into your tank that you have to worry about or anything. But yeah, so my water level in the return side is about 6 inches, and I mark it with a piece of tape so I know if something's going on, if the water level rises or drops, so I know if I need to adjust the inlet tank or the inlet or the outlet. The first pump that I showed you in the video, I'm not sure what it is. I bought it at a garage sale for like $5, and they said it worked. I was like, okay, so I had it as a backup. I was like, hey, it's got a filter on it. Maybe that'll help filter some of the stuff out of my tank. I was like, okay. And then the pump I have on my return I ordered is a Rio Plus Aqua Pump / Power Head. It's a 2500 version. It puts out about 800 gallons per hour. And it's amazing. The flow rate's great. The only thing that I found bad about it was the top of the actual, as you can see, that's what a normal one looks like, and that's what this one looks like. So the flow rate's exponential. But the top outtake, the output of the pump, was not exactly ½ inch. It wasn't exactly 3/4 inch, and so I had to use silicone to get an actual seal on it. So that was the only problem I had. But there is one thing that I'm learning about this filtration is you're gonna have to, more than likely, you see all the crap build up, you're gonna have to vacuum very often, because since it pulls the waste off the top, crap doesn't float, it sinks. And this was 10 times worse than this. But something I figured out, see them 2 little goldfish right there? I'm going to get 2 more of them, and oh my god, they are cleaning this up. I bet by next week they've got all this ate. You have to get them big enough that your fish won't eat them. But oh my god, I mean, they look good in the tank, they don't stand out, and they're cleaning it up. I mean, I can't believe what a great job they're doing. And so you guys wanted to see the filtration, and that's it. I mean, I am designing a new one because, as you know, I'm getting the larger corner tank for right there. That's about 60 gallons. And also another 125 for over here where the 60 is. And I'm going to run a 75 gallon sump and run both systems off of it. So when I get that designed and drawn up, I'll let you see a video on that. I'll show you how I'm going to plumb that. That will also include, the new one will also include a top off, an auto top off, a timer. Everything's going to be electronically done. Everything's going to be, this is just a rough. This is my first attempt. I thought I did pretty good for a first try. But the new one's going to, I know for the freshwater tanks you don't need protein skimmers. But I'm about to get real busy, and that is just in case, like fish die or something. In those tanks, I'm going to put a protein skimmer in it. I'm going to have I'm gonna have 8 stages of filtration. I'm gonna have the auto top off. I'm gonna have lights down here. I'm gonna have growing bacteria. I'm gonna have all sorts of things, and it's gonna be completely properly done. This was just a rough one. I mean, everything's gonna be completely done. I'm gonna build the tank myself and everything. So when I get that drawn up, I'll let you guys know and show it to you. But that's my filtration system. I hope you guys liked it. I hope if